Right, the rower prep is finished. Here's my plate. And the extracts are now in rows number 6 for my poultry samples, row number 12 for my swine samples, the ones that I artificially doctored. So all I have to do now is add those to my earlier prepared reaction mixes, and we're going to have to add some controls because every kit needs controls. So here I have a negative control for MGMS, positive control MGMS, negative control influenza A, positive control influenza A, negative control PRRS, and positive control PRRS. So we'll add those as we go. I want to start with MGMS. So far we haven't had to do anything with MGMS rather than cut the strip to get 2 separate ones. Now we need to remove the protective lid that it comes with. Earlier, when I was demonstrating what is in the strips, I just ripped it off because I didn't have to use it again. But now I have to be careful with my reagents. I don't want to use them. The proper way to remove these strips, and this is something that I've had some questions on about in the field, is do it sideways. You have to tilt them off. So I always recommend putting it at an angle, taking it from the side, and then folding it off, basically. That way it's very easy and there's no jittery movement, and that way your reagents stay where they should be staying, which is in the freeze-dried cup. Let's remove this protective lid from the 8 strips, and like I said, fold them off. I'm going to try to do this without getting my hands in the way too much, but that's going to be tricky probably. Just take it from the side, 2 ends, and then just tilt it off like that. That way, very easy, no harm done. So the movement is like that. This one is now finished. I can add my reagents or extractions, and I can add my controls, which is what I'm gonna do next. All we have to do now is add controls first or after. It's personal preference. I always do it first. So now we're gonna add controls and sample to the plate. This is where our plate layout comes into play again. So we're just going to follow this, and for MGMS the negative control goes in well number A1 and the positive control goes in well number B1. So we'll just do that. Because everything is freeze-dried in the strip, the volume that you can use is bigger if your extraction method allows it and if your matrix allows it. In this case, with these clean samples and the good extraction method, I can use 25 microliters. So I'll use full undiluted 25 microliters of sample and control to run the assay. So I'll take a tip, set the pipette to 25, take my negative control, which belongs to the kit. I'll take the 25 and I'll just add it to well number A1 because this is the negative control. And I will repeat this process for the positive control, which of course is kit specific. So I'll take the positive control and I'll add it to well B1 because that's where my plate layout tells me it should go. So I'll just add it over here. And I throw that away. Those were my controls. The next step would be adding the samples. Since the samples, I have 8 of them, are in a perfect row, I can use a multi-channel pipette to go straight from the extract plate into my PCR cups. Again, 25 microliters. I'll take this pipette, set it to 25, and then I will take the tips. All right, so I've set it to 25. I'll go into the appropriate row, in this case poultry. Take the samples. Again, do this gently. I always recommend to check if you have proper liquid, which I have. And now I'll try to do this in a way where the camera can see it. I will just add it to the cups. And throw away the tips. That's MGMS. Now we can do the same for the other kits, but first I want to close these. When you buy this kit, it comes with new lids that you can use to close it with. And here are the caps that come with the kit. So I'll just take 8 of them and I will just add it to the strip. First try to seat them all and then firmly press them into place. I'm gonna have to cut one of them because I only have 2 here. Cut the strip gently and seal my controls. That's it. And I'll do the same thing for influenza. I'll remove my installed protective lids and again do this gently. No point rushing this because if you ruin this, if you throw away your reagents, you have to start again. And I'll do the same over here. And again, I try to tilt them off with the folding motion. Now we do the same thing. I add controls and I add samples. Controls, in this case, and samples is 5 microliters. This is not a freeze-dried kit, so we only need 5 microliters. So I'll take my pipette, set it to 5, take a tip, take my negative control, which of course comes with the kit. I'll take 5 microliters and I'll add it according to my plate layout to this well over here. Mix it a few times. And I'll do the same for the positive control, which of course is kit specific. So I'll take 5 microliters, add it to the plate. And now I need to add samples. So I take my pipette again, set it to 5 in this case. And I'll take the tips. Whenever this happens, just throw it away. I'll go back to my poultry samples because this was AI. So I'll just add 5 microliters to my tips, checking for volume, and I'm just going to add it. Mix it a few times. And throw it away. Next step is we're going to do the PRRS, which again has a negative, a positive and a process control, which is in the top well. I could have placed it over here, but I like to keep keeping my controls to the side. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to remove the caps again, carefully. No point rushing this. And I'm just going to add controls. This is where my layout comes into play again. Well, A9 has the negative control, B9 has the positive control, and C9 has the process control, which is located in the top position here because it was the first of my extracted samples. So let's just do that. The volume again is 5 microliters. Let's start with the negative control for PRRS, which goes over here. Then we'll do the positive control. And that goes over here. So now we'll do the process control, which is in the top right position because it was the first of the extracts that I made for the swine samples. Check the volume. Needs to go to this position. Add it, mix it, done. And now we'll add the 7 samples, which are located from this position until this position. So I will only need 7 tips in this case. I will go over here, take my 7 samples and add them according to my plate layout from top to bottom. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Mix it a few times. Throw it away. Everything has been added. All we need to do now is close the strips. I'll start with the full rows. So this one's closed. I'll do it for this one as well. Now I need to cut up one strip because I need a section of 2 and a section of 3. So I'll do 2. 3 goes over here. 2 goes over here. That's it.